Hey folks, what's up? It's been that kind of week. I'm trying to chill, trying to relax, trying to just be cool and vibe with it. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some comics. We're going to have a nice, calm Friday evening. It's going to be a chill episode. Promise you. Na na na. Africa. I don't know why I said Africa, but I mean, why not say Africa? Let's be honest. So, are you ready? All right, let's go. Hey folks, what's up, and welcome to another episode of the Hungry Bleak Show. I am Antonio Pomares, the aforementioned Hungry Bleak. Let's get into it. You all know I gotta ask you, how are you doing? How was your week? This is me scooching up because I want to, get that one-on-one with you. Really? Okay. How was work? Look, I know. Do what you got to do today so you can do what you want to do tomorrow. That's the only advice I can give you, honestly. Aside from my big ass head getting out of frame. How are the friends and loved ones? Okay, good. Sometimes people do that, but that's why they're called friends and loved ones, because even though they do some things that we're like, what the hell, we still love them. They're our friends, they're our loved ones, family, partners, what have you. That's how it rolls. All right. Did you take care of that thing you got to do? Take care of that thing you got to do before that thing that you got to take care of takes care of you. Always. There's always something we got to take care of. Take care of it before your time runs out, because time runs out quickly. All right. Also, did you drink water? Did you take your meds? Whether it's for physical, mental, or emotional, take your meds, please. I want you to be the best you that you can be. Obviously. You know what I mean? So please do that. Okay, so now that I've done berating you, but I like asking about you. It's been, look, the last couple weeks have been great. We have had the Sinners panel, which was so much fun. Again, thank you to Cerise Rennie Murphy, Erica D. Butler, Byron Kennedy, and Keith Cross. Phenomenal people, and just a phenomenal panel. Had so much fun with them. The first iteration of a Hungry After Dark episode. I like the more mature aesthetic. I like letting loose a little bit, and just having some fun, and especially with mature-minded people that can be mature, talk about mature things, still have fun, but not be gross and whatever with it. So I was very lucky and very, very, very fortunate. So thank you very much to everybody there. All right, so it's a rainy Friday here in Jersey, in my town. It's been raining for the last few days anyway. I got caught in the rain the other day, what have you. I'm not sick, but trying not to get sick. Took some emergency, drinking some hot tea as always. It's just right. And making everything cool and chill. I have been playing, no, I haven't really been playing so many games. Been reading a lot of comics, listening to my audiobooks. Speaking of comics, there's been a lot of stuff that's come out. So why don't we just jump into it with some reviews, because I've got some new ones, some returning characters, one that's tied into a universe already that I've read. So let's start. So we're going to start with Battle Beast. Battle Beast, obviously, first appeared in Invincible Comics. Hands down was my favorite character, aside from Bulletproof. I want to say Bulletproof and Battle Beast were my two favorite characters. Battle Beast is just incredible. I absolutely love this character that their only purpose in life is to find battle, and to find, obviously, Battle Beast, and to find an opponent so worthy that he can actually be beaten. And we find out more about that. We find out that where Battle Beast actually comes from. We find out more about the character and about just the idea of it, of why Battle Beast and why he is the way he is, which I actually really enjoy. All right, so this is obviously from uh, Image Comics and Skybound, and this is part of the Invincible universe. This is written by Robert Kirkland. Returning on art is Ryan Otley, who I absolutely love. Um, color is Annalisa Leone, and letterer is Russ Wooten. I say Russ Wooten's name so many times. I wish he could get like $5 from Image or Skybound, whichever one, for every time I've said Russ Wooten's name. I say his name a lot. It's probably because I read a lot of Image comics, just comics in general, and he's on a lot of comics. He does great work. It's amazing. So we Battle Beast leaves Earth. I was upset that he didn't find anyone who was worthy of battle, and we find out more about his past, where he comes from, um, which I love. He comes from this planet. Well, if I can zoom in on it, no, I can't. Comes from this planet where he was born with this hunger for battle and just wanting to be the best. And he found out that it was like almost like a curse, and that he would have ended up destroying his planet because of it. So he left and to roam the cosmos looking for battle. So he ends up boarding the ship after he leaves Earth, and there's a computer system on board, which when the computer spoke, I automatically heard the voice of James Spader. I don't know why, but it made me so much more into it. Probably because I liked Spader when he did the voice of Ultron. I absolutely loved it. I thought they should have done more with that. They didn't. Whatever. I'm going to let that go. It was a long time ago. And the computer says, well, I'll take you, to different places with these incredible enemies and see if someone will kill you, and who's, bad enough to kill you and who's strong enough and everything. And he's like, I'm in for it. Let's go. I love if I can get this on a t-shirt. I already have a Battle Beast t-shirt, but if I can get one of these images on a t-shirt, I would be just enamored because it looks absolutely beautiful. They're insane and they're just beautifully colored, everything, like I said. And so he comes to this planet and he finds this. Oh, it looks like an ornament. He sniffs it and he's like, I know you're not an ornament. You're actually a real person. You're actually real, alive. Because, yep. Turns out this big thing that they're encased in is a prison, and it ends up being this enemy that he can go up against, and this big giant behemoth. I'm not going to tell you the end of it, but by the end of the battle, and by the end of the issue, I should say, Battle Beast is going around looking for these battles, but also ends up getting a companion along with him. I thought this was great. Take a character who loves being a loner, whose only purpose in life is to battle. He only lives for battle. He only lives for the fight, and to someday hopefully be killed by his enemy. That's his thing. To give them a partner, like a follow along, a tag along, is really funny. And the comical part could be there because it's going to be very dark. It's going to be very darkly humorous, as you could tell by the interactions between Battle Beast and the ship's computer. Definitely passed all 4 stages. Got past the newness of it, the bright colors and everything. Even though I'm already invested in the character because I love Battle Beast, but I wanted to know what was a solo adventure going to be like after reading Invincible years ago. Yeah, definitely wanted a series about Battle Beast and more to know. So I'm getting it now. Also because we have Battle Beast had a huge impact on season 3 of Invincible. So yeah, we definitely wanted. Is it season 3? It's season 3, right? Yeah, I want to say it was season 3. So we got more of that. So Battle Beast now more in the eyes of people and people who may not have even seen or read, I should say, read the original series. Definitely invested, like I said, because I already know the character, but this new wrinkle of going around looking for this fight and wondering who's going to be strong enough to take down Battle Beast because he loves this. This is, it's like Worf. Today is a good day to die. Ironically enough, Battle Beast is voiced by Michael Dorn, who is actually Worf. So yes, that definitely makes sense. I went past the best because I went by intrigued. I'm intrigued by the fact of what other species is he going to find on these planets, and who are their greatest warriors, and what will this be like? And um, I love the idea of like going to each planet and fighting, like almost like a tournament of death for him. Excuse me, very much. Am I invested? Yes, we already went into that. Do I care? Absolutely, because I also care about what's going to happen to this passenger that they have with them. I'm intrigued and invested by that, and I care about the character, but I also think that there's something duplicitous there. If you see where this passenger actually comes from during the fight with uh, this large behemoth being that Battlebase is facing, it hits all the cool buttons. Obviously, this was a no-brainer. Honestly, this was a no-brainer. One of my favorite comics. Absolutely love this. This was a really this was just fun. This was just grade A fun. Loved it. So Battle of Beasts, yes, go to it. You're gonna love it. If you're a fan of Invincible, I definitely go check this out. Hopefully, we'll get one about Bulletproof at some point too, because that was my other favorite character, and hated this story. Hated what happened to him, but I love the fact that there was a depth to it. I just wish we would get more depth to it. Maybe in the animated series we might. I don't know. Let's see. I apologize. As always, I'm up at beyond the crack of dawn, unfortunately. But just because I'm up early doesn't mean I don't get to see the neon lights. And we've got Neon Ghost. That wasn't my best segue. I don't care. You know how hard it is to segue a huge, ferocious warrior character and then the word neon alongside me yawning? It's not easy, but I made it happen. It wasn't pretty. Sometimes the job doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to get done. Anyway, so excuse me, we have Neon Ghost, which is just yeah. Um, I'm a huge fan of Nigel Lynch, who is the man behind these great books and this whole universe. I want to say the Stray Dogs universe. Let's call it that, shall we? All right, so we're going to call it the Stray Dogs universe. So this is from uh, Beyond Publishing, the Caribbean, and Wiseacre Comics, and this is part of that. Like I said, the Stray Dogs universe. So let's go through. This is written by Nigel Lynch. We've got letterer as Pete Moss. We've got colors as June Carlos Francisco. This is just this is awesome. So basically, this is a story of a character going to getting revenge. You know, a lot of the Stray Dogs universe is about revenge in this incredibly beautiful world. I love the fact that Nigel is just creating more and more branches, spreading this universe out. Whether it is the actual main book, which is Stray Dogs, or whether it is from COFT, Critical Ops, excuse me, COTF, Critical Ops Task Force, which was bananas, bonkers, like the raid. It's like it was, yeah, it's also like it was written, it was like directed by Gareth Evans from the raid, Gangs of London, Havoc recently on Netflix, which is what I love, but then has this really seedy underbelly story where there are really no heroes. They're just people just trying to make the best that they can out of what they've got, and they're wronged, and they have to end up being, taking revenge or trying to make things right, or just getting that justice that they aren't getting from any other system. And this one deals in trafficking. Two young girls in the city, lost. They don't know where they're going. They end up getting picked up by these people, and they say, "Hey, we'll take you. We'll, we'll take care of you. We'll make sure you're okay. You get to where you got to go. But just come with us. It's cold. It's rainy outside. We'll feed you tonight, what have you." And end up taking them into this house um, and basically kidnapping them, for lack of a better word, and trafficking them, having them in sweatshops, having them in brothels, as sex workers. And then one day, this is when I love when I see little things like this that happen, that uh like between universes. One of the characters decides to try and break free and then the door gets kicked in, and it's COTF, the Critical Ops Task Force, and they're busting up this sweatshop and going guns blazing, saving these girls, or at least girls, and being like, okay, free. But then what happens then? What happens when you get that freedom from this this these monsters that have taken you, that have kidnapped you, that have trafficked you, and her main goal is to go back and to find her sister and to go after her. Um, and this little girl gets revenge in the clearest way possible by blowing the hell out of her captor. And we go from there into this story of, like I said, revenge. And it's just the Stray Dogs world is so interesting to me, and it's so beautiful in its kind of cyberpunk um way, while also giving you a lot of characters who are, you're not sure how far over the edge they're going to end up going, which is what I like. I like seeing characters pushed to the point, and you want to see, will they remain, will they keep their integrity, or will they just let themselves go and go over to the edge and end up becoming what they have, what they're trying to fight against. It's like what it said, if you stare too long into the abyss stares back at you. If you hunt monsters for far too long, you become the monster that you've been hunting. Similar to that. And I'm just a fan of this world. I hope we get so much. I would say this is the type of universe that, and I know Nigel has probably a billion things going on in his head right now. His mind is a universe, that this is the type of universe that, when you give the amount of books, everything that can come out of this can be something truly cinematic, which is a word that's being used so often, unfortunately, and in the wrong way. But I think this could be something that could be that could be done incredibly well, whether through motion pictures or live action, which is what I would really want to see. This live action animated would be cool, but I want to see live action. I want to see the live action of these characters, and the action and the cybernetics and everything, and to see how they just interact with each other, and seeing how things connect, whether Stray Dogs, whether it's Critical Ops Task Force, or whether it's Neon Ghost. Uh, Beyond Publishing and Wiseacre have such an incredible jewel here that, yeah, there hasn't been a book out of these that I haven't truly enjoyed, because they've all given us something different. And I haven't actually been showing the book, and I apologize, folks. This should get annoying. Yeah, like I've said, this is just a book that's really good, and like I said, I'm incredibly excited by seeing these characters go through and trying to get revenge, and then trying to save her sister, all while in this seedy world of stray dogs. It just hits a certain point, and I love how the actual art at night, you do get a feeling of there being neon lights. You honestly do. And I think that's the beauty of it, and seeing how it, and also tackling a subject like trafficking, which is very prevalent, but is not talked about very much. um I like seeing that in this story, something that you would expect in the world of Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs is a world where you would expect, because of the seediness, because of the greatness of a lot of the criminals in this world, you would expect there to be obviously drugs. You would expect there to be sex slaves and trafficking, and violence and all manners of that. So to tackle a subject like trafficking, um, is not an easy thing to do, and has to be done in a very what's the best way, in a way with very good taste, even though it's a subject that has no good taste. um but the way it's done properly, and showing the stages of, oh, we're just going to help you out and pick you up. Oh, well, if you want something to eat, we have heat. You get sleep here for the night if you want, and taking them in, and then being to traffic them and using them, like I said, in the sweatshop, and then as sex workers. Uh, I think that was just a very a very touchy topic that's not used very much, but it's something that's prevalent in the world, unfortunately. And to see these two girls who are Filipino as well, which I'm always happy to see Filipino characters in comics, not just because my like one of my best friends of over 30 years is Filipino and my godson's Filipino, but it's because normally if we see Asian, it's usually Chinese, Japanese, Korean. We don't see a lot. So even that inclusion, like that diversity there, is great to see. There's even some Tagalog, I want to say, that's spoken in here, which is the language of the Philippines. So yeah, this is that was on the back of my neck. So I really enjoyed this, and again, Stray Dogs universe is a universe that does not disappoint. Whether it is Stray Dogs, whether it is Critical Ops Task Force, or whether it's Neon Ghost, you're going to get a story that you're going to love it. If you like things with like gangster underworld ties, but also want a bit of sci-fi, cyberpunk to it, I definitely recommend anything in the Stray Dogs. But their newest endeavor is Neon Ghost, which is this tale of revenge and redemption and looking for a loved one and just cutting a bloody swath through this underworld that, yeah, I'm all for. I mean, Nigel, keep serving it up, man. You're doing phenomenal work with these books. I am absolutely love it. Hell, if you ever have the inclination to, I'd love to read a novel of this world too. And that's saying something because I love comics. I'm starting to get back into novels because I do love novels. But seeing that, getting that in there would be awesome. I would be all for it. So Neon Ghost, yes, definitely a find, and I'm thoroughly enjoyed by that. What does not enjoy, what I do not get enjoyment from is having a cold. That does not. I think my nose is starting to stop up a little bit. But then again, we've got the Cold Witch, and this is from Image Comics. I said these segues were not going to be the best, but they were going to get done. Damn it, and I did it. So the Cold Witch. This is from Image Comics. Now this is one that is part of the Shrouded College stories. So far from this is the third out of six that we're gonna get. I don't know why I'm telling you this many. We've got what was it? We've got the first one was Hell to Pay, which I thought was phenomenal. How evil, how commerce and money was the root of all evil. Literally, thought that was incredible. The other one was Bloody Dozen, where it was the vampires in space, I believe. Yeah. And now our third one is the Cold Witch. So this is out of Image. Like I said, I am a fan of these books because they are awesome, and they just I love the story and the whole Shrouded College um, mythos and tale. I absolutely love. I think it's awesome. I think it's amazing, and they're stories that definitely need to be told, and they're just really cool and fun. So this is from Charles Soule. Artist is Will Sliney. Sliney. I want to say Sliney. Sliney sounds, I don't know, sounds wrong for some reason. Watch, I'm wrong. Colorist is Rachel Rosenberg, and letterer is Crank. Wanted to yell that louder, but I have neighbors. So basically, what we're doing is we're getting the return of two of our protagonists from Hell to Pay. We're getting Sebastian Maia. They're back and they're at the funeral of their dear friend who died in issue 3, I want to say, of Hell to Pay. Yep, yeah, I believe it was Hell. And we find out that he was one of the people who took down and killed the Cold Witch, which was this supernatural power in their world. So the Shrouded College is here, and we end up seeing his partner, his wife, comes in looking just unworldly, because who shows up to a funeral in all red? Obviously. Uh, and she basically says, "Hey, can I speak to the two of you later on? I want to talk to you about something about his death." Turns out something wasn't right about the story that he told about killing the Cold Witch, and she wants Sebastian and Maya to figure it out. Now, Sebastian and Maya are still indentured to the Shrouded College after Hell to Pay because they're going to be having a baby, and that was against the rules. So, in order to save the baby and themselves, they had to make another deal with the college after they collected all of the Hell coins. Yes, I know that's a lot. Go back and read Hell to Pay. phenomenal story. Absolutely loved it. And we go, and she's like, well, when he did that, when he sacrificed himself for you, that means you owe me twice. So my first thing is, I want you to find out what happened to him. No, the first thing she says, I want you to get me into the Shrouded College and um, help me get his case file of what happened. So this is the first story that we're actually getting into the Shrouded College. The first story was about, what happens at the Shrouded College, like around it. Second story was tied into it because still in that universe where there's this big bad supernatural thing that's going to be coming and we don't know what it is yet. This series we actually go into the Shrouded College, and it was very trippy. You probably could have taken mushrooms and it would have made it easier on you, truthfully, because I was like, wow, what the hell. So Sebastian goes in, helps her out, gets her in, and then they go looking for the case file. In this, while they are going, they end up meeting the librarian, which is crazy because this is the actual Shrouded College. This is what it looks like, and that's the librarian, caretaker, whatever you want to call it. So they get the file, they go in, they figure out they get the file. She says thank you, what have you, and then the file is like a little like almost like a little treasure chest kind of thing. And she finds out about, and it's actually him speaking. It's almost like a spectral recording, let's say, of him speaking, and she realizes she has to go to Siberia because there have been all these tales about the Cold Witch, about who she is. And there's always a different tale, but he ended up capturing her in Siberia. So his widow goes to Siberia to figure out what's happening, what's going on. Yes, go and read this. Go and read Hell to Pay as well. I'm a fan of this. The art is beautiful and bold, and it captures a dark humor in everyone's say because there's humor. I personally like humor in my books when it's whether it's action or horror, whatever. I like that humor in there because it's a nice balance. These books do have that nice bit of humor, which is very much needed in such a weighted story for the Shrouded College, which you don't know what's happening in there, but you know that whatever it is, it's not all it's cracked up to be, and it's crazy. And the fact that there's supernatural things and money's the root of all evil has always been. There's magic, and there are these people all over that are pulling the strings, and you're not sure what's happening. I love how the art captures the humor, but also the magic, and then the almost like the visceral reaction to him, like to her leaving his body. He's like, oh. I love that, and I felt the chill of her and him being like, Also, I think it was him just being like, you know what, this ring is evil, it doesn't do right, and also the fact of his wife being at home with being pregnant, and he's with this woman there, he doesn't want to be there. I felt that as well too. Definitely, it was just instant. I'm following these series because they're great. Shrouded College is going to be awesome. I still think they're working on this to be a series on. I want to say it was Peacock, which I think would be amazing because this is such a great story. So yes, if you are in the mood for something that has some supernatural, it's fun, um, and it just makes you feel like, oh yeah, okay, so there's all this stuff going around and we know nothing about it. And also the name of it being the Shrouded College, I think is very apropos. It just feels right. So yeah. Um yeah. So go pick up The Cold Witch from Image. But definitely go back and read Hell to Pay and then read Bloody Dozen. Bloody Dozen is basically the Dirty Dozen, but with vampires that have been trapped in space for centuries. I couldn't have made that up if I tried. Not that not that good. You know what else is good? Another Wiseacre comic. Let's go. This is a very Image Wiseacre heavy episode. I truly understand that, and that's okay because they're great companies and they know what they're doing. They're telling stories, which is amazing, and who they're bringing into the fold. The House of Wise is here. So we've got Veve. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. I don't think I am, but I'm going to try anyway. Veve. And this is from Wiseacre Comics. This is the story of a young woman who finds out that she is the guardian of the crossroads. You had me. First off, you had me at Wiseacre. Then you had me at Guardian of the Crossroads, which I absolutely love. Yeah. So yeah, give me some more of that. For this one, let's go through the roster. I don't know why I said it like that. All right, this is created and written by Frederick J. Littles. Shout out to Frederick; he does amazing work. Pencils, excuse me, pencils and inks by Bleaku. Hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Colors are by Daniel Jr. and letter is by Letter Squids. I don't know why I made that sound either. That's crazy. So basically, the story is we're here seeing Lisa. She's in college, in New Orleans, and she begins to have these kind of like visions. She's seeing things throughout the world, and she ends up realizing that something isn't right, something isn't wrong. Now we all know New Orleans is a very spiritual, haunted place. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of spirituality. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of hoodoo. There's a lot of haunting. There's a lot of that energy there. Funny that I've never been there because I think I would. I think my head would probably explode. Excuse me, folks. From all that energy, I think my head would probably explode, or I would never leave. Probably would never leave. Honestly, that might be kind of scary for me. Plus, I don't like the heat. So she finds out. So she's going through. She's like, she's having these feelings. She's being drawn to this haunted tour. So she goes to the haunted tour with her friend on Bourbon Street. But first, she goes to this little shop, and she touches this kind of jar that you're seeing, and it causes her to have like these a bit of a vision. She starts feeling it, and it almost awakens something. It's almost like when Vader or any other for any person who felt the force who's like there's a disturbance in the force. I feel something there. It was similar to that. She's like chosen. I'm not chosen for anything. Um, and she's trying to study. She's in her room, she's trying to study, but she's still drawn to this jar, this object. Friend takes her on this tour. She's like, "Look, come on, we're going to go out. We're going, have some drinks, what have you." And because of her awakening, let's say, spirits on the other side start noticing her. They start seeing what she's doing. I love these almost like chapter pages with art that almost look like they could have been variant covers, which they quite possibly could be. I'm not sure. I have to check on it, but I love that. I love seeing little chapter art like that. Chapter art is a huge thing with me. I absolutely love it. Oh, excuse me. I'm a fan of art in general, but I love seeing the art in between and just like a little bit of a breakup. And then you see something visual that's beautiful, whether it's from the same artist or different artists each page, whichever it is. I'm a fan of it, and that was a nice change to see in a comic. We don't usually get to see that. We see it in like trades and such, but not usually in comics. So I was a fan of seeing that. While she's on this tour, also, the other side is beginning to amass and get together, and they're figuring out, okay, so a new guardian has been chosen, is here. We have to figure this out and go after her. Meanwhile, the other side, the Loa, are getting together. This is Papa Legba and the crew. They're getting together because they know that a new guardian is also chosen, and they want to take her and help her to figure out her power to channel it and to help in this battle that's coming. Um, I'm a fan of this because of a couple of reasons. One, I love seeing black female protagonists, especially with all the hair that she has. Is beautiful. I love it. I love the fact she has glasses too, glasses, hair, and everything. I think that's cool because a lot of times when we get our black protagonists, females, they're just these. They can be like a femme fatale kind of feel. I'm not saying that someone who has all that beautiful hair and glasses can't be a femme fatale, but it's usually in a different way. So I like seeing that difference, um, but still being this person who's trying to figure themselves out, which is what you do in college anyway, and in your early life as you're trying to figure yourself out. Add on top of that the fact that you just found out that you're the guardian of the crossroads. It's not easy. You got a lot going on. You also got to study for midterms, and you got a paper due in like 12 hours. It's a lot going on. Also, putting in the fact of the supernatural and the hoodoo, and having a lot of Creole um, influenced in this comic was beautiful as well. I don't speak French as much as I would like to, or I speak no Creole, I speak no Haitian whatsoever. I took 2 years of French, but when you don't use it, you lose it. I can say little things, but not a lot. Um, uh, Mon petit ami, les bons temps roulés, like that's probably about, comment allez-vous? Je m'appelle James, you know, um, je m'appelle James Antoine, that's like little things like that, you know. Je suis un gentil, that that one actually I shouldn't have said. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. I can be gentil, but sometimes I cannot be gentil. Depends. Also, while reading this, we get um, flavors of flavors of the accents down there as well. You got a lot of share in here as well. Share, I think they say uh mon ami in here as well. So you get those flavors of that as well. Um, I'm just a fan of that world, and I love seeing different spiritualities, different folklores taken into account when making comics. Not all the same thing. And that's what's needed. We need those different flavors, especially when it's our creators. We need those different flavors. So I'm definitely a fan of this. Wiseacre, like I said, does amazing work. Frederick Little's I'm a fan of. I mean, Magnus alone is just, yeah, it's just fun for me. That's when I first found out about Wiseacre, and they're on their 5th issue now of that. And Veve is one of their latest hits to come out, and they're doing amazing work. Wiseacre, House of Wise, is really blowing up in such a beautiful way, and I love seeing indie creators blowing up, doing big things, just creating the space where it's like, look, this is what you can do. Check it out, and inspiring, and probably also being inspired because of the community. There's a lot going on there. So yes, Vive is another one. Go check out. Go just go check out Wiseacre in general. Honestly, like, what are you doing? Go check out Wiseacre. But this is definitely yes for me. I had a great time reading it, and I'm waiting for more uh, about this world, and I want to see what goes on, and I want to see the link that she'll have with this professor who was the protege of her grandmother. I want to see how that works out, and is he being truly intentional with her, or does he have some types of secret as well? Because you know there's always that secret thing happening in supernatural stories. So I love that. So yes, Wiseacre Vive is another one to check out. So, folks, I had a whole thing. I was going to be ready for the bleak perspective, and I had something, and then I had a moment because it's been a rough couple of weeks. I've already said, and then so I had this. I was like, yeah, great. Between work and personal stuff, I was like, yeah, you know what? This is what I'm going to do, and this is it. Blah blah blah. And then I I was at work today. Got off work, came home, took a shower. Well, actually, first I made sure my mother was good after dialysis. Friday's a dialysis day. Made sure she was good. Um, Took a shower, went grocery shopping. Before I went to grocery shopping, I stopped at 7-Eleven. I wanted to just get a nice chai latte. That sounds way bougier than it is, truly. I'm not bougie at all. I may say chai latte, but I'll sit at a bar and just have a beer and a burger and be the happiest guy possible. And I went, got there, got it, decided, you know what, have a donut. I hadn't eaten all day. It's odd. I have to probably change my name from the Hungry Bleak because I haven't had an appetite lately. What have you? Not for food anyway. So going to check out, put my number in, pay with my card and everything, and the guy goes, "Oh, excuse me, are you wearing cologne?" I'm like, "Oh no, no, it just," and I didn't know how to answer the question, which is stupid because I get stuff from the body shop and I buy all three things. So I'll buy the soap, the body cream, and also which lotion, and the body spray all together. But if I take a shower, I won't use the body spray because it's so fresh on me. But it's all the same scent. So I go and I check it out, what have you. And he's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, no, no, it's just all the same scent, my lotion and my shower gel and everything. He's like, oh, because it smells really good. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. I was like, I don't know why I'm making this so confusing. Thank you. And I was leaving and I spoke and and the guy was talking. I said, you know what? You made up for the last 2 weeks. Thank you so very much because I've had a really bad week, and that was probably the best thing that anybody's ever said to me. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. And I didn't know how to. I'm still getting used to people giving me compliments. But if I smell good, I love it, especially if I'm hugging a black woman and she says, "You smell good." Then she gives you a little squeeze. That's when you know you smell good. If she don't say, "Oh, you smell good," and give you a little extra squeeze when she says it, then you don't smell good. You don't smell right. As they said, your banging ain't right. Then you get socked in the head and somebody steals your phone. Anyway, and it changed my whole perspective on everything. And I was just in a place of I don't care or whatever. And that one thing made my whole day. Now, I'm not saying throw compliments at everybody randomly, because don't do that because that's just weird, what have you. But if something legitimately like hits you, just say, oh, hey, that's a really nice jacket. Looks really cool. And then going about your business. I was on a train once to New York and sitting next to this young black woman. Train ride was maybe an hour and 20 minutes. She was sitting next to me for maybe about 40 minutes, something like that, maybe 40 minutes. And I was reading and I kept looking at her hair and she was on her phone, I think, something like that. And we were stopped at Penn Station, getting ready to get off. Um, and she's getting ready to get up because she's on the aisle seat. She's getting ready to get up. And I go, oh, excuse me, no, I'm sorry. But can I just tell you, your hair is it's gorgeous, absolutely phenomenal. And she did. She had the prettiest curls in her hair and everything. She said, oh, thank you. I said, oh, no problem. You have a good day. And I left it at that. You can totally give a compliment and not be creepy about it. Um, and I don't know how that made her feel. That could have made her whole day better. That could have made that train ride better for her. That could have made her just go, oh, okay, cool. Well, I don't know how her week went. Sometimes just something little like that can just make a person feel good. Again, do it from an honest place, from a place of just being, hey, I appreciate that thing about you that you've got going on there. And that's it. I don't want anything. A lot of times nowadays when we give compliments, it's because somebody wants something from us. That's why I think I'm not really good with compliments because usually if someone compliments me or they hit me in my DMs, they're about to ask me for something or they want something or they're about to ask for something like that, you know, which is what's about to happen. And it just turned my whole 2 weeks around. Um, so yeah, it changed everything where I was just like, okay, so I can't be angry today. I can't. And it did. It changed my whole perspective for the rest of the day. And it was nice. So I guess the ending note is if you're going to be nice, just be nice because it's coming from a place of honesty and just truth. Don't be nice because, oh, I want to ask you for something. Oh, I want something from you. Don't. Don't do that. Just be nice because of the sake of being nice and because it's an honest thing and because that's a human being and you're a human being and we all have these really hard, tough times that we're going through and just say, oh, hey, that that jacket is really cool. Awesome. And then going about your business. That's it. I told that story about the young woman with the hair. She was probably this was when I was in my 30s. She was probably in her I think it's in my early 30s. She was probably in her mid 20s. Or there's I want to say there's probably at least a 5 to 7 year age gap probably. Which isn't a big deal, but I don't know why. But it just I don't know, she just seemed so very nice and it was genuine and she felt like very light oriented. I don't know what that means, but like she felt like very nice. And when I told that story, when somebody was like, "Oh, so did you get her number?" I was like, "No," and I was like, "Yo, you didn't get the number?" I was like, "Doesn't have to lead to a number." She was a very pretty young woman. I feel like she was too young for me for some reason. I'm not sure. She also wasn't like that vibe there where I was like, "Oh, hitting her up, talking to her," um, rizzing her up, as the kids would say now. Back hurt when I said riz, and it wasn't. It was just it's a human being. It's a black woman. Probably going through hell this week between everything that's going on. But her hair is friggin' phenomenal. I'll just tell her real quick, hey, your hair. And her hair actually put me in a better mood because her hair was phenomenal. It's beautiful. So yeah, if you're gonna be nice, come from a place of honesty and just being a human being, not looking for anything, not trying to get anything, not doing it because you want to ask for that person's number or whatever. Sometimes just be nice because it's nice to be nice. And that's it. Yes, this was a short show. You know why? You've had a lot of me these last few weeks. I mean, this week we've had TBA News, myself and Java, myself and Robert going in on comics and gaming and anime and having a ball doing it. You've had me doing shows with guests. Like last week, I had Damian Beckton, who's got the Chopping Blades Kickstarter, which is going to be coming up soon, which is phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. Then the week before that, you got me and the Sinners panel with those phenomenal guests, Cerise, Keith, Brian, and excuse me, but Byron and Erica doing the thing, and it was awesome. And yeah, so I want you to enjoy this Friday evening. Maybe get pizza, maybe get some Chinese. Myself, I had some Chinese earlier. Now I'm going to eat some some bourbon praline ice cream. That sounds bougie too. That actually sounds, but it's not. It's Haagen Dazs, and it was a sale, so it's not bougie. Unless you can get stuff bougie and be on sale. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how bouginess works. The bougie classes, I'm not sure how they work, but yeah, I'm not a bougie guy. What have you? Yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna watch some wrestling and some anime. I'm gonna read some comics, and I'm gonna fall asleep with bourbon praline breath. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, so y'all have a very good evening. Enjoy the rest of it. Oh, shout out to Jabba Chan. Jabba, she's gonna be at Thy Geekdom Con this weekend. So if you're able to go check out Thy Geekdom Con. She's gonna be there. Um, and also if you're there, tell her happy tell her happy early birthday. She'll appreciate that, probably. All right. You have a very good night. Enjoy the rest of it. Um, Eat something tasty. Um, I know I'd love to eat something tasty tonight. Yeah, that's exactly how it sounded. Have a very good night. I'll see you later. And remember, as always, F Trump. Thank you.